Hello dear friends, my name is Miss Nadezhda and today we are going to talk about many different things. So for the grammar we have infinitive of purpose today, and for the vocabulary we have unusual hobbies today. So today with you Miss Nadezhda, and let's go to our next slide. So, if we talk about grammar, we have infinitive of purpose. That is infinitive which is used to express the purpose. So, it's a short version of the such verbs as in order to and so as. You need at least 70% to pass the exam. She left the window so that the air in the room is fresh. In order not to be late, we left the house at 3 p.m. So here you can see that we need to have in this construction an action, then particle to, and the infinitive verb. For example, the student studied very hard to pass the exams. She is going to England to learn English. She changed his way not to see her. Also, we can use the negative form of the sentence, okay? Or it can be used at the beginning of the sentence. For example, to get a passport, you need to fill out this form. Attention, please. When we want to make infinitive negative, we use not to. For example, here, in order not to be late, we left the house at 3 p.m. Or he changed his way not to see her. So let's go to the next slide for practice. So we use infinitive of purpose. We use to plus verb. Make one sentence out of two. For example, Shayla went by bus. She wanted to save money. So if we connect these sentences together using to, we will have this sentence. Shayla went by bus to save money. So to save is the infinitive of purpose. The next one, Peter has a part-time job. He needs to get extra money. How to make one sentence out of two sentences. So let's look at the example at the next sentence. So Peter has a part-time job to get extra money. Okay, let's go to the next sentence. My mother went to the post office. She had to post some letters. So one sentence we have my mother. The second sentence is she had. Now, how shall we make one sentence out of two sentences? So we need to connect using to plus infinitive. So we have my mother went to the post office to post some letters. And the last sentence here, Mary stayed at college until 9 p.m. She had to finish her history project. Again, we have two sentences, but now we need to have one. And we have Mary stayed at college until 9 a.m. to finish her history project. Very well done. I hope that you nailed the sentences, and now let's go to the next sentence and exercise. Make a sentence using in order to, so as to, or just to. Okay? As the example in the picture. So in the picture we have a safe full of money, yes? And now we need to make a sentence. For example, we have people should have a safe in the office in order to keep money and documents, okay? So let's have a look at the next picture. We have a boy playing with his toys, yes? So the main object here is toys, okay? So let's look at the examples. Children should have toys so as not to get bored. Children should have toys so as not to get bored. So please remember that we can, instead of so as not to, we can just use not to get bored or in order not to get bored. All of these options are interconnected or interchanged. Okay? The next picture is hands and water. Yes, somebody is washing his hands. So why or what sentence can we make in using in order to? So what do you think the sentence is? So let's look at the sentence. So we have you should wash your hands frequently or often, not to catch infections. Yeah. Instead of not to catch, we can use not to, in order not to, or so as not to catch infections. And I guess there is one more picture here, a boy studying and learning something. I think it's science and chemistry, yes? So I think this sentence must be about studying and education. So let's have a look at the sentence here. You should study hard in order to pass your exams. One of the more options would be here. You should study hard so as to pass your exams, or you should study hard just to pass your exams. Okay, now we have some vocabulary topic that we will discuss today. Look at these pictures, please, and try to match the pictures with the words that we have here. So we have sandcastle sculpting, we have mooing competitions, we have toy voyaging, we have extreme ironing, and we have soap carving. Yes? So the first one, what do you think it is? Of course, that is connected with sand, when you build the sand castle on the ocean bank, yes, or on the river bank. The next one is mooing competitions, yeah, when there is competition of how different people make the mooing sound. Okay, the next one is toy voyaging. That is how you travel, how your toys can travel. The next one is soap carving. That is how you carve the soap. Yeah, very beautiful. Okay, so which of these hobbies do you think is strange? One question we need to answer. The next one, which one would you like to try? And the next one, which one do you think will be popular in KZ? So as to answer the questions, you can use such phrases as, so here you can see the words, yes? I think it's really strange because. The next one, I would really like to try because. Which one do you think will be popular in KZ? That is, in my opinion, and so on. So let me try, and you can try at home. I think um, extreme ironing is really strange because it's very dangerous to iron in the mountains. The next one, I would really like to try sandcastle sculpting because you need to go to the sea or river for that, and definitely you're gonna have a good time. In my opinion, for example, um, moving competitions can be popular in Kazakhstan as we have many cows in Kazakhstan, and I think it can be also popular in our country in the future. So, at home, please have a try and answer some of the questions on this slide. The next one is the text connected about these hobbies. So we are going to read the text connected with these hobbies. But before we read the text, let's look at the questions that you are going to answer after reading the text. So that is, what makes extreme ironing different from regular ironing? How do people participate in toy voyaging? Please remember that participate has the synonym of take part in. The next one is, why are sandcastle sculptures considered unique work of arts? And the next one is, what skills are judged in moving competitions. So, what skills are very important when you participate in moving competitions? So, let's read the text. Everyone knows hobbies like painting, gardening, or playing an instrument, but some people take hobbies to a new level. Extreme ironing. Imagine ironing your shirt on the top of a mountain, in the middle of a forest, or while scuba diving. Extreme ironing turns in a mundane chore into adrenaline fueled adventure. Soap carving, taking bar soap and intricately carving detailed sculptures, animals, landscapes, or abstract forms. Soap carving combines artistry with patience in a unique medium that dissolves over time. Toy voyaging, that is, enthusiasts send their toys off on adventures around the globe, then track their progress through photos and stories. From a toy frog appearing in Paris to a plush bear repairing Eiffel Tower, memories. It's a playful tour of the world via miniature travelers. And the pre-last is sandcastle sculpting. While beach sandcastles are common, professionals create detailed scenes and figures that rival marble. From flying dragons to mythological beasts, these ephemeral artworks delight crowds before returning to the waves. And the last one, and the most unusual one, that is mooing competition. Believe it or not, individuals compete to mimic a cow's moo most accurately. Judges score authenticity, volume, and theatrical flair, usually with good humor guaranteed. Okay? So let's go back to the last slide and try to answer the questions that we have. So, what makes extreme ironing different from regular ironing? So, that here we have extreme ironing, and that we have the answer that we need to iron your shirt on the top of a mountain, middle of a forest, or while scuba diving. Right, you are. The next one, how do people participate in toy voyaging? Yes? So we have the answer that people send their toys off on adventure around the globe, then track their progress through photos and stories. The next one, why are sandcastle sculptures considered unique works of art? Okay, so here we have sandcastle sculpting. So beach sandcastles are common. Professionals create detailed scenes and figures that rival marble. So from this part, we can understand and see that sometimes sand sculpting is even more beautiful and intricate and complex more than sandcastle or marble. And the last one, we have what skills are judged in moving competitions. For that, let's go to the last part of the text, and we have here the last sentence which says judges score authenticity, volume, how loud you are, and theatrical flair, like how artistic you are. So I guess that this text was very interesting and you managed to answer all of the questions. Please think about Kazakhstan. What would be the most popular strange hobbies in Kazakhstan? And which one of these hobbies would you like to try yourself? Write it in the comments, please. So, let's have a recap for today's lesson. So, today we discussed such phrases as in order to, so as to, and to. We use them to explain the aim or goal of doing something. For example, we came earlier so as not to be late. We also discussed the strangest hobbies in the world and read text about them. The strangest hobbies are extreme ironing, soap carving, moving competitions, and sand castle competition, and toy voyaging. If you have any questions, feel free, please don't hesitate to write your questions in the comments. And I'm very sure that we will meet next lesson. Make sure that you do all your homework. So thank you for the lesson. See you next week or next time. See you. Goodbye.